What's going on, everybody? Jason with HOJ Forge. I am here in Tennessee, Gainesboro, Tennessee, on top of Tick Ridge off York Highway, and we're settling in. We've been here exactly 1 week, and I don't know, I'm excited. Let me show you around. So this here is, I don't want to say my pride and joy, it's just, I've always wanted a barn, and I've got a barn. And it's not a huge barn, little lean-to spot there where we're throwing a lot of the stuff for the chickens and things. This area over here, this is a chicken coop that's not very predator proof. I mean, if we're really going to keep chickens in here, young ones anyways, I think we may need to shore it up just a little bit, but a pretty nice little chicken area in there. You come around to the big barn door, and again, it's not that big. It's small barn doorish, but I've never had a barn. I've always wanted a barn. I've never had one. Now I've got one, so it's a big barn door to me. But there's just this open area in here, kind of open in some areas. But I mean, it doesn't look like the weather gets in here too much. And then there's one stall. The people that had this before us had horses, and I think the people that had it before them had goats and things. I don't know how many horses they kept in here. I mean, this stall is big enough for a horse, maybe two, but I mean, it's really not that big. But for goats, I think it'll do just fine. From the lean-to area, if you walk back here, there's a whole another pasture area, which I think would be great for goats and whatnot. And then at the end of this pasture area is the fence, and our property goes back that way a long ways. Quarter of a mile maybe. I mean, it's not a ton of acreage, but it's long and skinny, and it goes that way another 30-40 feet. Quarter of a mile, 30-40 feet. As you come up around the side of the chicken coop, there's that area in there which just has to get cleaned out, and then a pretty dang nice shed that is kind of our storage unit for now. It does have power, but all my tools are in here for now, all my power tools and whatnot, till I can get a pole barn built for those. But I mean, once we get organized and can clean this thing up, this could actually be a pretty decent working shed. So this area here, we've got some kind of wheat growing. I'm not sure what kind it is. The apps that tell you what plants they are have given me about 4 or 5 different kinds, but it's definitely some kind of wheat that's just propagating itself, which is cool. And then there's this old chicken coop that needs to be shorn up a little bit. It's leaning a little bit. It's pretty sturdy, but it's leaning a little bit, so I'm gonna shore it up with a couple of 2x4s, and we'll make use of this for some chickens as well. So this is off the side of the house. There's the house there, back porch, and these are all tomatoes. There might be a couple of pepper plants in there, and we think there might be a tomatillo plant in there or two, but these are all just growing. So they're heirloom tomatoes that we have, apparently, because no one's lived in this place for at least a year. So these are growing all on their own, and we've already gotten some tomatoes out of here. There's a lot of tomatoes growing, and they're getting ripe right about now, which was a real nice homecoming present. Off the back porch is this little fenced-in area where our little Chewini likes to do his business every morning. But we sit up on that porch every morning. The sun's to our backs, just shining out over our new homestead, and we get to watch the cats go have some fun in that little field, and the dog gets crazy, and it's just fun every morning. From the porch, we got this fence here, or this gate that butts up to that fence, and not a real wide walkway, maybe 3.5 feet or so, but leads up to the front of the house. And here's our front porch, looking very redneck. Lots of garbage and stuff. We're still trying to settle in. We couldn't find any place for our stand-up freezer, and there's my new smoker. We got a pork loin on there. That'll be ready in about half an hour or so, I'm thinking. Over along the side of the house where that carport is, we're going to put an addition there, 2-story addition. So that carport's going to be where level 1 comes up. Right now it's just our cardboard storage until we can burn it, but I'm thinking the addition is only going to be about this big. It's about 20 by 20, which I think is plenty of room. We'll do a little in-law suite down here, and then up above will be the master suite. Oh, we're not allowed to say master suite anymore, are we? Primary suite is the main bedroom. Walking almost due north from the carport, we get to the garden area, which again hasn't been worked in quite some time, but you can see some kind of squash plant growing. But this whole area has this black netting on it, which I don't know what that's for, because it doesn't go down to the bottom, it doesn't go across the top. I'm not sure what that netting was supposed to keep out. Maybe the horses? But all of that should be pretty fertile ground. And we'll plant next year. I don't think we're going to plant anything this fall, but next spring we'll get some stuff planted in there. This is due north from the front porch. And I think this is where the pole barn is going to be. It's not going to be huge. Our property from this fence line extends maybe a couple feet, but I don't want to go beyond it. So we're going to leave the fence line. We're going to leave a little gap behind it. So, I mean, what does that give me? Maybe 15, 18 feet. 18 by 20, an 18 by 20 pole barn maybe. 18 by 25, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to get a tape measure out here, but it's not going to be huge, but it'll be enough to get my tools up here. So in this area I can work on vehicles, you know, build another Jeep, do whatever. And in this area we'll take this tree down probably, but in this area will be the forge. Right now we've got this little lean-to, and most of my forging equipment is up in here under this lean-to, keeping it dry and whatnot, but it's not really tall enough to set up the forge under here. My hammer would hit the top of that every time I swung, but it's definitely it will come in useful. I mean, it's coming in useful for storage right now, but once I have that pole barn built here, some kind of barn door or something sticking out this side, and being able to forge right here, which I think will come in handy because I want to put in some kind of roadside shop right here. There's the road. It's York Highway. It's not super busy. It's kind of busy right this second. I think everyone's going home from work, but right there. I would love to put in some kind of shop where we can sell some of our farm goods and sell some of my blacksmith and other artsy project type things. I think it'll work good. I'm going to call it the Wooden Steel Gallery at the compound. We call this the compound because that fence goes all the way around. And there's our vicious guard dog. We left the sign up, no trespassing, beware of dog, because that's the dog you have to beware of right there. He's a Chiweenie, and if you hold still long enough, he'll take off a toe. So this was pretty cool. Inside the house, I was putting in the microwave oven above the stove. That was fun, having to drill a hole in the side of my house and wire up and whatever. But this knife was in that cabinet, stuck like way in the back in the slot where they had actually put a hole in for the vent that they never hooked up. But that's pretty cool. It is a Dexter serial number 48912. I could probably find out something from it if I wanted to, but carbon steel blade, and it's huge. Look at the size. This is the normal chef's knife we usually use. Look at that. Where are we? Look at that size compared. Look at how big that blade is. Almost twice as long. Now, that's a knife. That's like a Jason serial killer knife right there. So there we go. Forging videos. I'm anxious to start forging, so I don't know if I'm going to set that forge up before I get the pole barn built or not. It kind of depends. I've got to go talk to some people and get some estimates to see if we have enough money, because we ended up paying cash for this place after selling our house, just because the mortgage company. You want a story? Here you go. The mortgage company told us they couldn't close on our mortgage, which was going to leave us enough to do the addition and the pole barn and everything, because they couldn't verify the heat source. The heat pump in this place is 7 years old. They couldn't verify the heat source because the house inspector and the appraiser both couldn't get power to the thermostat. You know why they couldn't get power? Because there were no batteries in the thermostat. Nobody checked to see if there were 2 AA batteries in that thermostat. That's why they couldn't get power. That's why they couldn't check the heat pump. That's why I had to pay cash for this place and wound up with zero money left over, or almost no money left over, to do the addition or the pole barn. I've got just enough maybe to get started on the pole barn, so we'll see. Guess that means I have to go to work, but we'll get there, and there will be some forging videos coming as quick as possible. Lots of folks down here are asking for lessons. I think there may be some areas where I can sell some knives pretty easily and some other blacksmithing items, and we'll have some fun. I do have to find some coal, some smithing coal, some coke, something around this area. I'm in the mountains, not far from where they mine it. You'd think it'd be easy to find, but no, I can't. I had an easier time in Michigan at my Amish store, but I can't find any suppliers down here. So if you know of any coal, bituminous coal, smithing coal, or coke suppliers in Middle Tennessee, please comment and let me know, because I could really use it. So yeah, anyways, I'll catch you on the next video. Forging videos will be coming soon, but probably we'll start with how I put together my forge, because I got to put that all back together and piece it together, so you'll see how to, well, at least how I made my forge coming up. So anyways, there you go, my friends. Hope you all are doing well. I'll catch you on the next one.